Today I am taking a different approach because I'm not interviewing Chad Brecklin, the city administrator. I'm interviewing Chad Brecklin, the city administrator, who is the keynote speaker at this year's 2022 fall annual meeting at the Fitchburg Historical Society. They asked me to step in. Catherine had some other things going on today, Chad, so you get me. So, you're used to me, so this should go pretty good, as far as talking it. But Chad, as I always start every interview, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. And yes, you are the keynote. We're so excited for you to share some of the great stuff that are happening here at City Hall with the Historical Society. Their annual meeting, by the way, is coming up on October 9th at 1:30 p.m. at the Fitchburg Public Library. Yes, they're returning to the library this year. Had it at Pro Mega last year, bringing it back home into the library. And Chad, as you get ready for the keynote, no pressure here, what are they asking you to talk about?
Well, first, Jeremy, I mean, they must have been really desperate for guests to speak at the event if they had to resort to asking me to speak. So I'll apologize right off the bat, that you're stuck with me at the as the keynote speaker. So I'm sure that's the resounding endorsement that you would want to hear on the show promoting the event, isn't it?
Boy, if you're the keynote and you're apologizing before we ever got started, I don't know where this is going.
No, you always got to have a little fun with things, right? So
we know it. It's going to be a fun event, by the way, Chad. And I know you've attended these before, but in all seriousness, the city of Fitchburg, there's always a lot of things going on. And when you think of the history, you obviously got to think of the city government side of things as well. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember the last time they actually touched on city government. So quite the honor to be stepping in and doing this. But I think I've got a couple of the topics that you're going to discuss, and it's something that we've talked about on our on our interview, a regular monthly interview. But a big one that I think a lot of people will be interested in is the town of Madison annexation. When you signed up for the job, I mean, yes, you knew that this was coming, but it doesn't happen.
Right. No, you are right, Jeremy. In all seriousness, this is going to be a great event, and I'm really looking forward actually to the end of the presentation when I typically will do a question and answer session, where that provides a really good opportunity for folks that have some things on their mind, questions that I might not have covered, to be able to share those. But to your statement, yes, one of the topics that I do intend to talk about is the town of Madison attachment that is coming up here on October 31st. And, about 3 weeks after the meeting will be that attachment. So it is something that, I was here 20 years ago when the agreement was signed, and here it is today. I can't say that 20 years ago I thought I would be the one kind of helping to lead and shepherd the city of Fitchburg into attaching the Southdale neighborhood and some business properties up on the north side of Fish Hatchery Road into Fitchburg. But here we are. I'm in this role as city administrator, and fortunately we have a really great team here at City Hall who is taking care of all of those details as it relates to that attachment that's forthcoming.
Yeah, and I know it's probably like a brokered record for you to say it's the town of Madison, it's being attacked, but it is a great opportunity for the city of Fitchburg, and we're so excited to welcome in folks from the neighborhood here. So you got a taste of it, but you're going to want to come out and hear the story behind it, plus the activities that we've been working as a city. It's been a big group effort. We'll save that for the 9th. Another area to talk about is economic development, which the city is continuing to grow in all facets, which we're very lucky for, but there's a strategic approach to doing that. So as you were to sum up economic development in Fitchburg in your short time, I mean, you got a year on your belt, but tell us a little bit about economic development from your eyes.
Yeah, well, we're very fortunate here in Fitchburg to be positioned really well in the Madison metropolitan area, and that has led to continued very strong growth. We are one of the fastest growing communities, not just in Dane County, but in the state of Wisconsin. And I think it's that location, as well as the ability to work with our city staff and our city council. And not to say that doesn't, particularly working with staff, need some process improvement here and there and some other efficiencies, but by and large, we tend to be willing to work with developers to ensure a good quality project that we as staff can be proud of, but just as importantly, if not more importantly, that our community can be proud of as either being residents in the development or driving by or through the development or whatever the case may be. Really ensuring that we have really high quality development here in Fitchburg, be it single family neighborhoods, multifamily housing, or our retail and commercial or manufacturing projects. It doesn't matter what it is. We certainly try to strive with the developers to bring forth a really high quality project.
Yeah, I would love to sit in those meetings and learn a little bit more about when you describe the city of Fitchburg to a potential developer. I think it would be pretty interesting to hear, like that's you don't want to say it's the elevator speech, but I know it from talking about every day that it's a unique city in so many different ways. But sharing that with the developer, I think, is pretty cool. So there you go, another good taste of what's to come there. And I would suspect you'll get some questions in that area for sure, because they're going to want to know the secrets. Tell us the secrets, Chad. All right, finally, I'll put that one away. Budget is it's something that is sort of like road construction. You go from winter to road construction. It's budget to budget each and every year. It's the mayor's what's described as one of his toughest parts of his job. But the budget, you'll be breaking down the budget in the process. And we've talked about the process overall. But Chad, maybe the question here is, since you've went from a department head to the city administrator position, do you have more appreciation from what you've gathered from the process and and putting it all together, seeing it from behind the scenes after seeing it the other way?
Yeah, Jeremy, that's actually a great question. And, when I look at that, sitting as a department head when I was police chief and, having an awareness of the fact that other departments have needs and, seeing those come through in the budget requests as well, and then ultimately seeing what is funded by the mayor and the city council, certainly takes on a different perspective when you're sitting in this spot here now as city administrator for a bit over a year and working more closely with all of the other departments throughout the city to have a better understanding of what truly their operational issues and impacts and capacity is. And that makes it all the more difficult, I guess, when you see the need that's out there amongst all of the city departments. I come from public safety, obviously, and those staffing needs are going to be always present when you have a growing city. And it's just been really interesting to see how many other departments in our city truly can benefit from some additional staff capacity that quite honestly, as we can discuss in the presentation, can be downright challenging to provide.
Yeah, we were talking about the other day with the mayor and the priorities and continuing to keep up the level of service that you need, but still fit the needs of other stuff. And as the city continues to grow, it's a tough process. But guess what? You'll get to learn more about that process when Chad is the keynote. Finally, Chad, for people who don't know you, and I know this is the way you'll kick off your keynote, but my name is Chad Brecklin. I love no, just kidding. Chad Brecklin, who is Chad Brecklin? Like, where have you come from and to get here to where you are today? Just a small smidge. Don't give it all away, Chad. We want to save some of it for the presentation, but to get to know who you are as a person, I know what I would say, but what would you say?
Well, professional Chad Brecklin has been serving the city of Fitchburg for over 23 years in a variety of different roles that perhaps makes him uniquely qualified to provide the presentation.
There's that comedy right there from this guy. It's very subtle, but if you're paying attention, you gotta love it. Chad, thank you so much for the time. I always enjoy talking with you. October 9th, 1:30 p.m., Fitchburg Historical Society annual meeting with the keynote right there. And he's going to be talking about our city, the insights about the city of Fitchburg. And yeah, you'll get to learn a little bit more of a little bit pulling that curtain back for the city of Fitchburg. So Chad, thank you. Look forward to the presentation, and we'll certainly talk soon.
Thank you, Jeremy.